Hi, my name is Vanya Bogachev, and I am back with my study of the redwood ant Formica rufa at Iloranta Holiday Village. This time, in the summer of 2012, I'm intending to do something which is crucial to my goal of spreading the ants over the territory of Iloranta. I'm attempting to create an artificial ant nest. One of the methods of creating an artificial nest is to take from 50 to about 100 liters of the nest material of a large ant nest in early spring, when the ants, and most importantly the queens, crawl up to the surface of the nest to get warm after the long winter. Then you put this nest material on a stump of medium size, dry but not yet too rotten, ensuring that it is in direct sunlight for the first hours after the move. As the donor nest, I chose the largest ant nest on the territory of Iloranta, the twin. I undertook the operation at the beginning of May, when there was a huge cluster of ants on the surface of twin. Covered with a thick layer of protective clothing, I shoveled about 70 liters of twin's dome into a black garbage bag and put it in a bin with wheels. Next I wheeled the bin to Iloranta's larger island, where I had prepared a stump for the first artificial nest. This stump stands on a stony hillock right on the edge of the lake, and has access to a lot of sunlight during the afternoon. After some trouble with untying the bag, I dumped the future ant nest on this stump. I called this nest the Experimental Nest 1, E1 for short. To be on the safe side, I decided to make another artificial ant nest. This time the donor was the man-eater ant nest. The man-eater is one of the 3 ant nests I have found across the road from Iloranta. It is about half the size of twin and stands by a gravel road leading to some abandoned houses. I have not studied these outsider ant nests too closely, but as far as I could see, the man-eater has 3 foraging trails. I repeated the procedure I had with twin, taking only about 50 liters of the man-eater, and wheeled the bin over to another stump I had prepared. This stump is located on the south end of Iloranta on a slight hill in some fir trees. After dumping the contents of the bag onto this stump, I called this nest the Experimental 2, or E2. I had wanted to see what would happen inside the new ant nests, so before I undertook the resettlement operations, I cut away half of each stump and put a glass covered with cloth against the remaining half. But, as you will see, this did not work out. Later in the day of the move, I fed both E1 and E2 with bits of chicken and some breadcrumbs. The ants from both experimental nests obviously favored the chicken, although they did eat the bread too. I also put special feeders filled with sugar solution next to both E1 and E2. Soon the feeders close to both the nests were stuffed with ants. But the ants were not the only guests at this feast. As you can see, they themselves became courses for some of the diners. Both ant nests immediately began to collect building materials from the woods around them. I'm not sure that rebuilding the nest are the correct words in this case though. They were moving chaotically and very fast, and it didn't look like they had a general plan of what to do yet. Most ants were exploring the territory around their new homes. So ended the first day of the resettlement of E1 and E2.